Hello and welcome back to the Jordan English Podcast. Today we are joined by
Jeffery.
And today we are going to be talking about Jeffrey's experience with peer feedback. So peer feedback is defined as the practice of individuals receiving comments, suggestions, or evaluations on their work from others. So Jeffrey, tell me how you reacted when you first received peer feedback and what did you learn from it?
So when I first reacted to peer feedback, honestly, the first time I ever received peer feedback was very early on in my educational career. I'd have to say third grade. Realistically, peer feedback involving my spelling test.
Spelling test?
Yes, genuinely, on my spelling tests. I know it sounds kind of silly and goofy, and I'm kind of laughing about it a little bit, but yeah, first time I ever received peer feedback was in my spelling test, and really it was one of those things where you're like, hey, I have my paper, and then we do the whole spelling test, and then we flip-flop. I get your spelling test, you get mine.
Okay.
And we do that on Thursdays. Spelling test was on Fridays. And you get graded. They're like, hey, this is where you messed up. It's an I before E except after C, or AE, the AE rule.
Do you remember some of the words that you had to spell?
I remember one of the words I had to spell Spielberg for one of them.
Spielberg?
It was I was in third grade.
Oh my goodness!
I know. I was in like one of the advanced classes because I'm a smart kid.
Okay.
Or I was a smart kid. I'm kidding. I'm
You're
just
a smart
messing.
adult.
I'm a smart adult now. That's right. Yeah, one of the words I had to spell was Spielberg, and it was like one of the extra credit ones, and it's like, if you can get this, you'll get an extra point out of 10 or 11 out of 10 points, and it'd be awesome. And got most of the other words right. I remember another one that I had some trouble with for some reason was thrice.
Thrice?
Like 3 times.
That's
yeah.
like an official word.
That's an official
I thought
word.
people just kind of like.
No, yeah.
I thought it was like an unofficial.
That's a real thing. I mean, at least I did it on my spelling test.
Hey.
Or in there. Oh my gosh, the different theirs were insane.
The forms of there get me tripped up.
Yeah. But that was more like when I was doing first grade spelling tests. And that's when I messed up there. But I would like to say around third grade. And something I learned from it was like how to take criticism. Especially
yeah, it's a big skill.
Like it is a big skill, and it's applicable now. And honestly, I've worked with some people and met some people that don't have that skill. So I'm glad I was able to learn it early on.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So how has giving feedback to others helped you understand writing better and become more critical of your own work?
I see. So we're making a little bit of a jump in my educational career here. Now from third grade, we're jumping all the way up to this past semester.
Whoa.
This past J term.
What a jump.
I know, right? I graduated high school already. Wow.
Congratulations.
How quick. Feels like it was yesterday. No, I moved, I worked over my J-term class. I'm in the Elon College Fellows program,
oh, nice.
And we had to write grant proposals. And one of the things that we did there all together was we wrote our grant proposals, and then we brought them in one of the next days, and we had our grants be read over by other college fellows, and then get some edits on it. What can make more sense in your overall grant proposal? Like where's the research headed? What are you looking to do? And what's the plan moving forward? And from that, I was able to gain lots of important edits. Like if things made sense in my brain and they didn't make sense to other people, that's other people were able to convey that to me, so that I can appeal to a more broad audience instead of just my own, headcanon of what I'm thinking, and thinking that those ideas will easily translate just because I'm writing them down. Where the fact is, instead of me just writing them down, it has to be in a comprehensible, sort of manner.
Absolutely. Could you provide some examples of types of changes you made to your writing after receiving feedback?
Yeah. So in the College Fellows program, my grant proposal was how can I analyze certain forms of media, and what are those intentional little details that the writers add to certain forms of media for character reception, for people to latch on to and people to have an emotional response to. And so funnily enough, I did it about the movie Cars because I love cars. And some of the changes I saw when like looking at my paper critically, from like the critic or the like critiques I got, it was a lot about where is the where is this moving forward, and how is this research going to help anyone? And that was some of the biggest things I did have in there, like that it would help like creators in the future create more attractive and relatable characters in their forms of media. But I had a hard time understanding how to convey that message across like a word format. So that was one of the big things for me.
Absolutely. What do you think is the importance of constructive criticism and how it contributes to growth as a writer? I know you already touched on this a little bit.
Yeah. So growth as a writer, I think, really comes from like doing the work and continually doing it, because the more you practice a skill the correct way, the better you will get at it, you know? And that can be evident both in literally third grade and my grant proposal. That I guess this is kind of like the combination of
together.
the two. Exactly. The more you practice this, like the sort of writing you're trying to convey, the better it's going to become. And that's the bottom line of it. It's the same thing with any other skill. The more compelling your writing, the more compelling you want your writing to be, the more compelling writing you need to write, you know? And that's one of the big things here, I think.
Absolutely. Well said. Well said. And for the last question, how do you think peer feedback can shape future writing projects you may have?
I definitely think I'll use peer feedback in very much the similar way that I have been using it in the past in the J-term class and my third grade class.
Yeah.
I think having other people see your work and take it, look at it in a critical lens, and then be like, this is where I'm confused. If you could elaborate on this or explain this in a different way, this will be beneficial in order to reach a more broad audience. And I think that's one of the big things. If you're making a project, you're not just doing it for yourself, although you are doing it for yourself if you're passionate about it. And conversely, you're doing it so that other people understand the experiences you've gone through and can comprehend that. You understand? And that's the biggest thing I think peer feedback gives in a literature standpoint and a writing standpoint. The fact that you're able to take the perspective of your work from other people and then apply that intelligently. And I think that's a big thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very well said. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Of course.
Today. So tune in next time to the Jordan English Podcast.
That's right.
Peace.